The ranting redneck on the election that just finished last night. I just want to say, first off, we've got 3 months, counting 3 months, until Trump is actually in power. So calm the fuck down. Secondly, we're all in this boat together. So stop fighting in the streets, stop arguing with your family. For fuck's sake, stop arguing online. Because it doesn't matter who you voted for, it doesn't matter who you supported throughout this entire election. Because in the end, we're all stuck in the same boat with the same guy. Yeah, we may not all like who the captain became, but we did our best. This was definitely a lose-lose situation. We were pitted between a Oompa Loompa and Miss Umbridge. It was nothing any of us wanted. And other nations are even looking at us and saying, what the fuck? I've got friends in Croatia and Serbia and in the UK who are all just kind of dumbfounded by who we chose to be the leader of the free world. To be honest, I'm kind of dumbfounded by it too. But at the same time, we had to choose between two evils, and of course one of the evils won. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are going to give me hell because I'm not counting in the 2 third-partiers that were in the running. Well, Gary Johnson didn't know about foreign affairs at all. We were moving troops into a country, and I'm not running for political office, so I don't have to know what the fuck this country's name was because I can't pronounce it. But he was asked about it on a political talk show, and he had no clue it existed. Then you have Jill Stein, who was really good when she first came onto the scene. And then she started getting a little batty, to say the least. Then again, this election has made a lot of people a little batty. I know a lot of you out there don't like Hillary, and a lot of you out there don't like Trump. But we're stuck with Trump. Will he run our nation into the ground? I don't know. But as of now, we've got a Congress that doesn't want to work with either one of them. A Congress that has said they will stall anything that the new presidential-elect tries. What that means is they didn't want either one of them in power. So we've got a Republican Congress that is has said they're going to stall the Republican president from being able to do anything. Which is no different than what we've gone through for the past 8 years. Except it was a Democratic president and a mostly Republican Congress. And to everyone flipping out about the electoral and popular votes, electoral votes are determined by the popular vote by a state. Only one state that I know of actually splits their electoral vote depending on the popular vote, and that's Maine. And I believe Hillary got 3 of Maine's 4 electoral votes. Yeah, they've only got 4. But does it seem a little BS that, one of them won the popular vote and one of them is going to win the presidency? Yeah, kind of, but that's how the Electoral College works. The Electoral College works because back before we had the technology we have today, they would have to write. The reason it is on the second Tuesday of November is because they had to have a certain amount of time to get to D.C. on horseback to cast their state's ballot. Now, the way it works now is not as clean. However, there is no law or rule. It is simply a code of ethics that the electoral voters go by that says, hey, you should vote for who your state told you to. But there's no law or rule or anything. There's no consequence if they don't vote the way their state told them to. It's happened a couple of times in history where a electoral college voter voted opposite the way that they were supposed to. And it can swing an election. Do I think it's going to happen this time? Very doubtful. But if it does, well, we'll all still be highly confused by what the fuck is going on in our country. So, to put it into perspective, we're all in this boat for the next 4 years together. So stop the stupid ass infighting in your families and online and at workplaces, for fuck's sake. You know, we've got 3 months left of Obama. If you're at home and online trolling people and starting fights, get your ass off the computer, step away from the keyboard, go watch a movie. If you're at work and starting arguments with your fellow employees, I hope to fuck you get fired for being an idiot. If you're sitting there fighting with your family over who they voted for, grow the fuck up. There's a lot more important things to worry about now than who they voted for, because voting was yesterday. That's over with. That's done. Now we need to look to the future. And we need to look to the future as a united nation, not as a bunch of infighting imbeciles. So, like I said, back the fuck off each other, because the voting is over with. We don't need to start mudslinging at each other now. What we need to do is look to the future, look to the next 4 years, and hope that nothing just fucking asinine happens. Because you know what? I don't really want a nuclear winter, but if we have to deal with it, we have to deal with it. And everyone's saying that Trump is this genius. Well, the guy made fun of a mentally handicapped reporter. He openly attacked women on stage. He was, all in all, a bigot. Clinton wasn't much better, because she couldn't get a straight sentence out of her mouth. And, however, she didn't attack Trump much, but when she did attack him, it was pretty outrageous. Like I said, we were pitted with a Oompa Loompa and Miss Umbridge. We chose one of the two evils. There's nothing we can do about it now. What you can do, write your congressmen, write your representatives, let them know what the people want. Because if they know what we want, then they can stop something asinine from happening through the president, because they do have the power to stop his bills, to deal with his idiocy. So like I said, stop fighting each other, unite, and start figuring out what we all want. Because I know none of us wants a third world war. None of us wants a new huge military action against another country. What we need to do is let Congress and the House, Senate and the House of Representatives know this. All of Congress needs to know that we don't want a shit show for the next 4 years. So, start typing. Let your representatives, your congressmen, your senators, whatever, even on a state and local level, let them know that we don't want 4 years of a shit show. Let them know that they were voted into power, they can be voted out. So that's all I really have to say. I'm about to go and watch a movie myself. This is the Ranting Redneck, and I'm out for now.